wants to see it later, they can. So, you guys want to talk anything else other than the assignment?
About the discussion with those two online bibliographic references that they need.
Yes.
I thought when I saw it, wasn't that similar to what we just finished? The Zotero and which I saw, those are in the list that she sent us today. Those 3 or 2.
If I were to take a guess, at least how I interpreted it, let me see if I can look at the discussion. The discussion was asking for, give me a sec. Just gotta find the discussion. I created it. I created a draft for it. I just haven't posted it yet. But
so
talks about APA.
The way
go ahead.
I just pulled it up again, and I looked at it earlier as well. I haven't actually started working on it, but it looks like the difference is that in last week's assignment we looked at actual software that could be used to store and manage, bibliographic citations and references. I think this one is different in that it's just looking at websites, finding websites that actually teach you about and track the use of APA style.
That's my understanding too.
Unfortunately, we can't use the Purdue OWL site though, because that one's by far the best one.
It is.
He did send a list of. She sent a list with quite a few of them today, and I see the ones that we touched on last week on that list.
I'll tell you what I did. I created a draft. I haven't posted it yet. I'll probably post it tonight. But beginning of this term, Dr. Sandra sent us a what is it? Something that we can access to. It's called EasyBib or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. We have access to it, and there's a code. I think it's like America 184 or something like that we can get on for free. But that's an example of it, and that's what I used as an example. And then I also used the other thing that I use. I think this is okay. Is just the apistyle.org, especially the blogs. Right. What I discovered when I went to the Citation website with the EasyBib, I don't remember the name, but you guys, it's in the announcements. You can see that. I think that's what it's called. Yes, but it is?
Mm-hmm. EasyBib.
Okay. So what I discovered that for the most part, it does pretty good with most citations. It just on occasion, in fact, what I did was I tried to cite EasyBib because I figured we have to cite the website. And what I came up with was just garbage, actually. So what I did was that I looked up in the blog what to do, and is basically I looked up a website, just the general how do you cite a website type of thing. And so I figured at least how I interpreted it was that EasyBib was good for most things, but there's some things, especially if things get a little bit, troublesome, it may be best to do apastyle.org or something like that, just to check to adjust things if you have to. That's what I try to do anyways. Whether or not feels like it was the right thing to do, I'll post it. We'll see how it goes. So that's what I did.
Yeah, just a side note, word of the wise, I guess. Like I mentioned, I think that this course for you guys who may be taking this course before research methods, I would say to go back to last week's assignment and choose at least one, if not more, of those programs, that software. Maybe one, what is it called, EndNote or Mendeley or something. And when you're in research methods and you're starting to actually find sources that can help you out with your own dissertation, to actually start saving them and sorting them so that you could go back to them later.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. What do you use, Dan?
I've tried EndNote and Mendeley.
Okay.
I kind of started messing around with both of them even before this course when I was in the research methods course. I think if I'm not, I'm trying to remember back to the summertime. I think when we did our concept paper, I want to say they recommended that we use a minimum of 10 to 12 sources,
Oh, wow.
journal articles from the last 5 years, like pretty serious, to actually start doing work on our own dissertation. So, it wasn't like a ton of sources, but certainly a lot more than any individual assignment from any other class that we've had so far. I started using Mendeley and also EndNote just to kind of try them out a little bit, see which one I like better.
Which do you like better?
It's a good question. I think probably EndNote. I like the way that the ACE library, when you're looking for articles through the ACE library, that you can just kind of import them or upload them or whatever, or export, I think is the right term. You export them into EndNote. It's pretty easy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I confess, since I'm cheap, I went with Mendeley, though I might change my mind later. We'll see. But I know that my understanding is if I do switch over, you can transfer stuff from Mendeley to EndNote. That's my understanding. Or whatever, or with any other, or with many bibliographic software, I think you can do that.
Yeah, I think so.
That's helpful, Dan. Thank you. I've started doing that a little bit myself. I use Mendeley for now, but I use the folders as well as keywords as well too. Just to, I try to remember a keyword or a phrase from an article and I save it. So if I go back to it, a word hopefully comes back to me so that I can use that. So when I try to find a previous reference, I've done that a little bit, but yeah, Dan, that makes sense. I'm with research methods. That makes sense. That if we're going to have at least a dozen references, it would be nice to have software to help you manage that. That's very useful.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to mention to you guys too, not only do I think this Google Hangout is a really good idea, but the course ends next week, or this is the last week, and who knows where we're all going to go from here in terms of our courses. I actually use, I don't know if any of you guys use it, but I use an app on my phone called Voxer. It's like a walkie-talkie app, and a lot of
Are you saying
Voxer, Voxer.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of educators all over the country, all over the world, use that to communicate with each other, and you can create groups and just communicate with people about basically anything you have similar interest in. I have a Voxer group that goes along with the Twitter chat that I do around growth mindset every month. But one thing I guess I wanted to throw out there too is that it could be another way to communicate. And also, there's already an existing group on there. It's called DocVox, DocVox, where it's a group of us who are currently in doctoral programs, or a couple of people who have actually just completed their programs and have been officially named Doctor of whatever education, to kind of support each other. And just going back to that research methods advice that I was given a couple minutes ago, some people told me that was the best course they took, and I was like, yeah, right, I doubt it. But actually, after I went through the 10 weeks of that course, I think it was a really valuable opportunity. So.
Oh, good. Thank you. So DocVox, D-O-C.
Yeah, the app is Voxer, Voxer, and the group is called DocVox. If you're interested at all, let me know, or find me on Voxer, and I could let you into that group, or I could help you out with getting started with Voxer in general.
That would be great. Super.
It's a really cool tool.
DocVox.
Yes.
Dan, what's your last price? I remember seeing it on the discussions. What's your last?
Yeah, it's Kreiness, and it's pronounced
N-E-S-S?
SS as in snake.
Kreinessen?
Not the first S though. Kreiness.
Oh, okay. Is that German?
I believe it is, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks German. My mother's German, so whenever I see a German last name, that's familiar. Anyways.
Let me see.
Alrighty. So do you guys want to talk about the, so I guess, do you have any other questions about the discussion about about the, what is it called again? The APA help guides?
With the help guides, now I come up with, I was thinking that we weren't able to use the apastyle.org because would that technically be a help guide? Or is she suggesting, because Purdue Al is from, Purdue. When I went on to another university's website, is that what they're asking, for us to be able to go onto another university's help?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that would probably be a pretty safe way to go, is to find other universities or higher ed organizations that do the same thing, just not Purdue.
I mean, because when you go into the search engine initially, it gives you EasyBib, and it also gives you the other software like EndNote. And I was thinking that she was talking about the help guides, such as Purdue Al, because that's the most popular, and I guess I've been using it for so long, I was thinking that was the only one.
No, yeah.
So I was thinking that she was probably talking about other institutions that had help guides on the APA style instead of using the actual apastyle.org. I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to change my discussion post now, but, well, what do you guys think? I mean, I just figured that just looking for any helps. I just
did a quick Google search. I just typed in APA help guide, and in addition to Purdue OWL and apastyle.org, because those are the first couple of hits you get on Google. Additionally, there were some other university sites that came up: Baker
Right.
College, Rasmussen College, CSS library guides. I feel like that's probably the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah, when I did that web search too, Dan, I also came up with, similar to EasyBib, or however you pronounce it, Bib. There were others that were similar to it, like Citation Manager and whatever else. So I
think the difference, though, is that those are sites and programs to help you actually manage the citations, not really teach you about APA style.
Right.
I think that's the difference.
And that's what I was thinking with EasyBib, because we use that in high school, the EasyBib with the high schoolers. And they're just basically plugging it in. Matter of fact, you can manually do it, but most of the time, all they have to do is just supply maybe the author's name, and it pulls up and generates a lot of the different articles that the author may have, or you just put in the URL where they found it. So technically, it doesn't really help them on it. It does it for them. That's what I was thinking when it was said a help guide. I was thinking that it would be from another institution on how to be able to decipher the actual APA style writing. And when I spoke to her, the first week of school, right before classes, she told me exactly. She said, what I'm really looking for is just basically the structure of the APA style writing. I don't want you to, even though we're writing and my scholarly writing hasn't improved yet, but hopefully it eventually will. But she said that she was mostly looking for the correct citations when you're writing. So she was more or less looking at the format of everything, of how to write it, more or less than the content of what we were actually saying. While she said that would be great, she said, I just want to be able to see whether or not you guys are placing and making sure that you're citing and you're putting all of the structure in correctly. She was like, that's what she was basically looking for in most of her assignments, is what she had explained to me.
I don't think it's unique just with this course or this professor either. I've found that to be true, basically consistent throughout all the courses I've taken so far, which is that unfortunately, you know, you kind of wish that it was like you were being judged mostly on the content and how you can prove that you're mastering whatever you're supposed to be mastering in each course. But I've definitely found that when it comes to losing points on discussions and assignments, it's really mostly not what you know. It's how you're writing and how you're crediting your sources and using APA style. So I would definitely agree with that.
Right.
Okay.
That's what she was sharing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's mostly the conventions of everything is what she was basically looking at for this course. She said to help prepare you for the next courses. That's how she was.
I actually, one of the courses I took over the summer, it probably was the research methods course. I had a classmate who basically couldn't handle the nitpickiness of the professor when it came to the scholarly writing style, you know, the conventions, the APA style, and she was very upset. She I guess it was that concept paper assignment at the end of the course. She didn't do so well on it. Apparently, the college was recommending she actually redo the whole course. They according to her, it's only one side of the story, but according to her, they accused her of self-plagiarism. So, you know, I think that it's obvious that they really are concerned about things like that. They harp on it a lot, but I guess it's all in the name of just trying to get everybody to be as scholarly as possible with their writing.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, that is great to know.
Mm-hmm.
That is. I mean, that's good to know on that one. But yeah. Because she also shared with me that she's the actual the librarian for ACE.
She is.
Right. So she shared that with me because I'm also a librarian as well. So she was, you know, I asked her for some pointers just for being at a little small junior college that I have just as a little side gig besides being a high school librarian. So that's what she was just basically saying. This is what she's actually looking for in a lot of it. So I wasn't too stressed, but it kind of relaxed me a little bit.
Good. By the way, I was checking out an email from. I asked Dr. Sandra about referencing, and I mentioned that I was using EasyBib as one of my two. And she didn't blink at it. She just responded that I was okay.
Okay.
So yeah, in fact, I could check the email. I just looked at it and it said, I just asked, this is what I'm referencing. This is what I think how I should reference it. Didn't respond back negatively. So I think I'm probably okay. You're probably right, Dan. It's probably more of a, you know, looking or trying to find clues or ways or websites that help you to cite and what are the rules and whatever else. But anyway, I figure, I don't know. I've already done the assignment, so I don't think I'm going to do anything beyond that. But
I'm sure you're okay. Sorry, guys. I'm up here cooking at the same time.
No, it's okay. You can cook.
I'm sorry.
Where are you guys from? Sorry to cut you off.
Can you hold on for just a sec? I'll tell you where I'm from. Actually, I'm from Idaho. I'll be right back. Just a sec.
Well, I'm from Chicago, but I just moved to California to September 11th. So I'm in Fresno, California now.
Yeah, I was in Chicago over the summer, or near Chicago, for a conference out there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, so I've born and raised in Chicago for 48 years and just relocated to Fresno, California in September.
And I'm living in South Carolina, but I'm from the Caribbean.
I was wondering where that. I didn't want to insult you. That's what I was like. I really want to ask her where the accent is from.
Caribbean, Jamaica.
Yeah, no,
okay.
I asked because Danielle, you said something about cooking. I was like, oh my God, it's like bedtime here. I don't know, you're cooking dinner just now, but I'm in Connecticut, so
Okay, it's 7:10 here. It's 7:10.
yeah, it's after 10 here.
Oh,
My wife, even
60
though we're in,
something degrees here today.
wow, yeah, even though we're in the same house, my wife just texted me. She's like, "I'm going to bed. I'm getting into bed." All right.
That's funny.
Yeah, so it was. I hear it's a snowstorm in Chicago right now, and
I heard that too. Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
yesterday it was 67 degrees. Today it was about 60, 64.
Yeah, we had some
Wow.
snow here overnight last night into this morning. The town that I live in, my son is in first grade. He had a 2-hour delay this morning, but not where I work.
Okay. Gotcha. So I'm at a high school here in Fresno, California. It's very nice. Actually, the sun rises every single day, nice and bright.
Oh, that's awesome. I wish I could say the same where I live.
Hey guys, I wanted to just ask you guys. I was looking at, and I don't know how to pronounce it. It's QIQQ. I think it's QIQQA, the software the reference citation software, and it's new out, and it came out in 2016. So I was thinking of not going by the mass of everyone's doing Mendeley and EndNote, the basics, and looking at that. It's compatible. So I was just basically I'm new to, even though I'm a librarian, this is a step higher with the research. I'm new to those reference citation managers. So I was thinking of that one. I was going to ask you guys, had you heard of it? Because it seems like it was mostly user-friendly even for your apps for your cell phone. So it had, of course, its own app, and you will be able to also use your cell phone for it. I went onto the actual website for it and to see some of their different the benefits of what it was offering. Actually, it says comparison, and it compares it to a couple of them. I forgot who it compared it to, but it had a lot more, of course, green check marks on there, and that it was also mobile. I don't know exactly what we need for the next class, but I was thinking because it was new in 2016 and it just maybe all of the different bugs are not yet out of it, but I'm sure that they looked at the other different reference citation manager to see what they can do differently. Now, I don't know which one is, the best and the difference or anything like that, but I was going to ask you guys, what do you all think? And it's a QIQQA. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it QIQQA? And have anybody?
I hadn't heard of it before. I just Googled it and opened it up, but I'm not real familiar with it yet.
So if you go to the website of it, and then maybe go to the comparisons, I think over to the right of the screen, it might say comparisons, and it might be comparing it with EndNote, or I think it's Zotero, something like that.
Okay.
So I was just thinking, let me see, where would it be?
Oh yeah, I actually, so you have to click on the word about, and then there's a drop-down menu, and you have to click compare.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought up the comparison.
And you guys tell me. I was thinking of, I don't know how in depth we needed it. It just seemed like it was something new, opposed to, when I pulled up, even Mendeley and that one being such a, not necessarily an older model, while it was established, I don't know, I think in 2008 or 2002, it was, recently updated in 2016. So I know that might be a older one, and that's one that mostly everyone uses. What do you guys? It was, I compared mine. I did the basic of the Mendeley, but I wanted to try something different because it seemed like everyone else was using EndNote and Mendeley, and I think it was, is it Zotero or?
Zotero.
Zotero. So I did both, I think it was called DAFREF, DAFREF, to try to, because I was looking for something that was more recent.
Oh, I see. So something that was created more recently, or?
Right,
that
would be, it's more recent is what I was looking for, not one that necessarily would be created as a dinosaur, because I guess, everything changes rapidly. And I was reading something that they come up so much and they change so much that I think I was reading a blog with a librarian of how they have to constantly look at the newer citation managers, even monthly, just to see what the new, even a trend is.
Right.
So,
it's interesting.
I don't know whether or not if Mendeley is basically antiquated, this antiquated basically software, and they finally update it, I'm not exactly sure. I was just wanted to ask you guys what you all experience, and I see Dan is the one really with the most experience so far with the.
Yeah, I mean, I had never heard of that particular, citation management program before, but it's a little late for me right now to start toying with it. But at some point, I will. I'll check it out. I think I don't know about you guys. I feel like the best way sometimes to learn about something is not only to ask for who's used it before and things, but if no one has, just try and mess around with it and use it and see if it works for you. So I think Danielle, like you alluded to, if you're going into the research methods course next term too, like that might be something that you want to mess around with a little bit, and as you start to pool some resources, if you haven't already, for your own research, then start using stuff. I started using EndNote and Mendeley, kind of both, just to see which one I liked a little bit better. So I would probably recommend doing that. I'm probably going to get off of here in a couple minutes. I just wanted to touch on the assignment that's coming up too. I just read it again. Like I said, this is my second program that I've done through ACE. The first one was a master's, and now this. Most courses have this kind of like reflection at the end of it, regardless of whether it's a 5-week class or a 10-week class. I'm going to treat this like a reflection. And, I'm reading off of the assignment description right now. It says, use what you learned about APA formatting and citation, and then discuss what you've learned about bias, intellectual property, and other aspects of scholarly writing. So I think really it's just a matter of going back through some of the discussions and assignments from the last 4 weeks and finding some of the, kind of same sources while you're kind of reflecting on what you learned and how well you've done through the course. I know for me, I've learned a lot already about APA style, but certainly this course, like being all about APA style and citations and things, there were some new concepts that were thrown out there, like the bias and like the intellectual property, which I thought was probably one of the best discussions that I've had in any course, because that's pretty important to the research. You don't want to step on anyone else's toes, nor would you really want it done to your own research when it's actually published. So I thought that was really important. I'll probably hit on that a lot in my assignment, but I think just treat it as a reflection, talk about what you've learned, and then bring in, I don't think you have to reinvent the wheel here, just go back to the sources that you've already used in the assignments and the discussions that you've turned in for the first 4 weeks.
That's what I was thinking also. I was thinking of going back to, even when she mentioned about the bias and she mentioned something about biased research. I was like, okay, I'm going back to that paper that I wrote and get some stuff from there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
and certainly if if the professor put in any comments on your actual assignments, right in your paper, other than just how to improve your citations and APA style, if she actually made some meaningful comments that resonated with you, you might want to bring that up, and certainly don't make those mistakes again. But bring that up again and say, oh, this was mentioned in one of my assignments on bias or intellectual property or something, and I've learned from it, and here's a source to back me up. Or maybe maybe it's a source that the professor put out there too that you never really considered before, but now it's something that you want to explore a little bit.
And the article that was out there, Dan, it talked about I'm just trying to remember. It mostly talked about the importance of ethics, if I remember correctly. Did you read that, Dan or Stephanie or Danielle? The reading.
Is it one from this week?
Yeah, the one for this week.
No, I haven't
gotten there yet.
Mm-mm.
Oh, we don't need to dwell on it, but basically it just talked about the importance. It's a good read. Perhaps there might be some things in there that you could work off of based on what you were saying, Dan, what we've covered the last several weeks. You might add to the discussion in terms of ethics and intellectual property and whatever else. So you could cite that if you wanted to add flavor to your paper if you need to. So there was some pretty good insights. It's just basically it was a study done to see how an organization can help improve the ethics of the people that work there, and talking about and I forget what the study was, but it was a few days ago that I read it, so I have to go back to it. But I did remember thinking, and this is what I do sometimes when I read an assignment, I just stick it in the back of my mind, don't think about it. And when I get back to the writing, that sometimes helps me because I had something percolate in my mind before I write the article or write the paper. So, but it was pretty decent to check out. It would be worth at least looking into to help you with the paper, I think. So.
Hey, I shared my email address. Is there any way you guys can share your email just in case? I know that I think we can send inboxes only to the persons that are within our class and not unless we automatically know it. So if you guys wouldn't mind sharing it just in case.
Sure.
I just put my email in there.
It's like you get off, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, what was that question? I missed it.
Oh, Dan, I was worried about, you were mentioning you needed to get off shortly. Is there something else that you wanted to discuss?
Oh, no, I'm going to get going. I'm just going to actually, as a couple of things got added into the chat, I noticed that we were starting to put our emails in there, so I just put my email. I see that you guys did the same. Voxer is already in there that I mentioned before, and I'm really big into using Twitter in addition to Voxer for all of my professional development needs. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. So I'll put my Twitter and Voxer names on there too. But I appreciate the hangouts tonight, guys.
Okay.
So if ever you're in class with me again, you guys, would you want to still do Google Hangouts as well?
Sure.
I think it helps out a lot just to even, just to talk out some of it.
Okay. So what I'm hearing from you guys when we're talking about the assignment is basically it's just thanks Dan for posting those. It's a reflection of basically what we've done over the weeks.
That's
and what was the learning? What did we get out of it? And then just basically summarize it. Just go back to what we've done in the past. Is that what I got out of this?
That is correct. I also received a degree from ACE a few years ago, and each course, of course, asked for a reflection, and that's what it basically was, just to reflect on your. Remember how in the beginning it gives us almost like a post-test, a pre-test of what we knew about it.
Right.
So it's just basically just summing up some of those things that we learned throughout the entire 5 weeks.
Okay.
And a reflection of, you're developing as I guess, a scholar and as a candidate.
Okay.
Okay.
No, that sounds good. That's good. That's helpful. Thank you. So, is there anything else you guys want to discuss?
No, I think that's it. I appreciate it, guys.
Well, well, thanks for joining in on the discussion. I'll post this on the. I'll send it in an inbox. But if I don't hear from you guys till next term, happy holidays. Whether it's Christmas, wherever else. I hope you guys have a good one these next few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Happy holidays.
All right. Thank you. All right. See you guys later. All right. Bye-bye.